Hey everyone, I am your astrologer Brittany with Horoscope.com. Here are 3 things you need to know in order to make today, Sunday, April 21st, 2019, a success. First of all, I want to say Happy Easter. Happy Easter weekend to those of you celebrating Easter. It's always one of my favorite holidays. It's so happy in some ways. Yeah, and like fun and lots of beautiful colors, and so I hope you all just have a good weekend, especially if you're, well, no matter what you're doing, really, but especially if you're with family, I hope that is going well. Now, the first thing I want to talk about today, the moon, always with the moon. Let's go right here. Number 1, we've got this moon. In this chart, it's in Scorpio, but really, what I want to talk about is when this moon enters Sagittarius, because the moon's going to enter Sagittarius right around lunchtime. I typically do like a moon in Sagittarius. To me, a moon in Sagittarius is very optimistic, very lucky. We're thinking about new and different things. Moon in Sagittarius brings our focus to adventuring, learning new things, experiencing life, and all it has to offer. So I do like to think that's a good thing, that could be on our mind around lunchtime. For sure. However, this moon in Sagittarius could be a little conflicted, I guess, because around the same time this moon is going to enter this very lucky and optimistic sign of Sagittarius, it is going to make a trine over here to both Venus and eventually Chiron in between lunch and dinner. And what this could bring here, of course, is a lot going on with relationships, us wanting to do new and different things with relationships, maybe explore relationships with new people, doing things in different ways, perhaps. But this could feel a little bit uncomfortable, especially with this moon here in the trine to Chiron. Maybe we're trying to have new situations with relationships, especially situations that are more meaningful to us. I think that's the thing with Venus, especially being in Aries. We're trying to retool our relationships to be something that feels better for us. And maybe that's a little bit of a challenge. Maybe it's hard for us to be diplomatic with our relationships in the way that we would like to be. Because there's so much going on, because there's so much change in our life, because there are things that we're doing differently, and there could be, yeah, some uncomfortable feelings there. Either we have something with people that we want to say, that we want to discuss, that maybe we feel like we can't, or maybe there's something that you say or someone else says that surprises people that can then open the door for an uncomfortable kind of conversation or trigger some wounds about some things that could happen here. Okay. That could happen, yeah, in between lunch and dinner. Shortly after that occurs, now around bedtime as we're going to bed, the moon then is going to make a trine over here to Mercury in Aries. Again, still bringing up lots of talking, lots of conversations, lots of thinking. So whatever it is that came up earlier in the day, especially in regards to relationships, maybe possibly even money, that you were feeling a little bit uncomfortable about, either internally or that was said that then made you feel uncomfortable. To me, I still feel like it lingers. Still throughout the night, you're still talking about it, thinking about it, trying to work it out in some way. But I do think that as the day goes on, and the more that you maybe talk it out, think about it, work things out, that perhaps it does get a little bit better there. All right, man, I know that's a little bit of a downer for Easter. Maybe that's why I was wishing the people with the spending time with family especially a good time, because this can be a challenge for relationships. The redeeming factor, I think, of this, though, is this moon in Sagittarius, that even if things are hard with relationships, if you maintain an open mindset, a learning mindset to adjustment, to adjusting your perspective on relationships, on people, to doing new things, and to being open to learning and listening to what other people have to say and from their experiences, that to me is like the redeeming quality of this day, is that there can definitely be a chance for you to learn and understand things that you didn't learn and know and understand before, and that perhaps can be just what you need in order to figure things out. Okay, yeah, first thing I want to mention, conversations with people could be a little bit difficult, but could open the doors for new ways of doing, being, and understanding things and others. All right, now the second thing I want to talk about, maybe I'm going to go back here to this Venus again, because Venus did just enter Aries. One of the reasons why I think that this day could be a little bit uncomfortable, and the day yesterday and some of the days coming up, is because Venus doesn't like to be in Aries. That's because Venus is the planet of relationships, of love, of beauty, of balance. And Aries is anything but balanced. Aries doesn't always care about relationships. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It cares about me, myself, and I. And you've got Venus, the planet of relationships and balance, and the planet of me, myself, and I, in the sign of me, myself, and I. So when it comes to our relationships, it's going to be a lot harder at this time to be diplomatic. We may need to be diplomatic, especially coming off of a full moon in Libra. There may be a lot of stuff in our life we're still trying to work out, but it's going to be hard to see other people's perspectives with this Venus and Aries. It's going to be hard to be diplomatic, to say, especially with Mercury and Aries, to say the right thing. You know, we're just gonna blurt things out. Things are just gonna come out, or we're gonna be feeling frustrated if we're holding them in here. And I think needing, I think needing the best you can to understand where other people are coming from, to try your best to be diplomatic, try your best to understand where other people are coming from, and try your best to see the intent behind some of the things that people say. Because on the surface, things could feel tense or could come out wrong, but underneath the surface, I think there's a lot going on here, and a lot that's led up to this point that maybe isn't being said, or isn't being said in the most tender way, that needs to be addressed and felt and worked through. Okay, yeah, kind of an interesting thing happening here. All right, needing to be patient and sensitive towards the needs of others, even if that's a little bit hard right now. Okay, now the third and last thing I want to talk about is going to be right here, the sun coming into a conjunction with Uranus. Talk about adding fuel to the fire with the sun in a conjunction with Uranus. And this is bringing up some unexpected events. You could be doing something unexpected. People could be doing something unexpected to you. Perhaps it could come out in conversation over dinner or something like that. That could occur. And I think needing to be okay and if something unexpected comes up, and needing to roll with the punches. I think this moon in Sagittarius, Sagittarius is a mutable sign. So I think today it should be a little bit easier to roll with the punches otherwise. But if you forget, I think if you can be flexible to whatever comes up, if it's unexpected, if it's sudden, and if you can really accept other people for who they are and for what their message is, even if it hurts you, I think that acceptance of yourself and others is going to go a really, really long way. And that flexibility to open doors to learn from others and to learn what you need to do next in your life, okay, is going to be key. All right, yeah, I think we're learning some big lessons with relationships right now. And the way to maneuver these lessons with relationships that we're learning is not necessarily not to back down, but is not necessarily to keep fighting either. It's to speak your truth, to hold true to your mission, but to say it in a way that is genuine, understanding, and that others can learn from, and for you yourself to be open to learning the lessons. All right. I hope that makes sense, because we can be taught a lot from this time if we listen, pay attention, and accept what other people have to say without trying to dominate them or force our will on others. So that is your daily planetary forecast for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you tomorrow.